Good morning, ma. Welcome to Alpha Online Education. Commerce theory part for the first year English medium. The chapter that we are dealing with, that is the 7th chapter, Commencement of the Business. So this is the 4th session of the chapter. So in the first session we have discussed about the Memorandum of Association, MOA. And in the second session we have discussed about the Article of Association. Yes. So in this session we are going to discuss about the and in the third session we have seen the differences between the Article of Association and Memorandum of Association. And these in this session we are going to discuss about the Prospectus. So Prospectus means what? First let us know the meaning of Prospectus. Okay, a public company can invite the people to purchase the shares. Okay, a public company can invite the people to purchase that company shares. Okay, to purchase that company shares and debentures. Okay, so the public company can invite general public, common public, in order to purchase that public company shares and debentures through an advertisement. They will call the public to purchase the shares of their company. Okay, such an advertisement or notice containing detailed information about the company. Okay, whether that is an advertisement, okay, or it is a notice, whatever it may be, that contain the detailed information about the company. It contains detailed information about the company, and that detailed information that is known as prospectus. It is known as prospectus. So a private company can't issue. So a private company can't able to issue the prospectus to secure its capital. So it can't able to issue prospectus in order to raise the capital from the general public. But the public company can invite the people to purchase or to subscribe the shares and debentures of that particular company through an advertisement or through a notice. Next, the definition. The definition of prospectus. Any document describes, okay, it may be a document that described or issued, okay, issued a prospectus and includes a red herring prospectus. Red herring prospectus. Red herring prospectus means it is a type of a prospectus. That is the initial stage of the prospectus. Means that is the preliminary stage. Means the first stage of the prospectus. Okay. Referred to in section 32. So red herring prospectus are in section 32. Or shelf prospectus. Okay, shelf prospectus means they know certain information about the prospector. It is a type of issuing the prospectus. Okay, so referred to in section 31. It is in section 31. Or any notice, circular, advertisement or other document inviting offer from the public. Okay, it was inviting offer from the public. It is an invitation to the public for subscription of any securities. Subscription means in order to purchase any kind of securities, whether the shares or debentures. In the shares we have again two: equity shares, preference shares. Okay, whatever they want to purchase, they can purchase those securities. Okay, so this definition is given by Companies Act 2013, section 2, subsection 17. So this definition is given by Companies Act 2013, section 2, subsection 17. So this is about the definition. Simply we can say that prospectus means just a document or notice or circular, whatever it may be. It contains information about the particular company, that is known as prospectus. So let us see, prospectus must include what? What it must include. So one thing you have to remember, first years చూడండి, ఇక్కడ 17 ఉన్నాయి. మీరు 17 మాకు గుర్తుకుండవు మేడం, మేము రాయలేము 17 అంటే అట్లా నడవదమ్మా. 17కి 17 రాయాల్సిందే. ఓకే, యూ కాంట్ ఏబుల్ టు రిడ్యూస్ to 12 or 10 you can't reduce. If you reduce in that way, your marks will also be reduced, because this is completely 17. You have to write. This is a mandatory. At any cost, you have to write it. Okay. So let us see first of all what the prospectus must includes. Okay, name and full address of the company. So it contains the name and full address, where the company is, in which country, in which state, okay, in which district, okay, in which mandal, where the company. So name and full address of the company, first thing. Next, the particulars of the signatures of the memorandum of association. Okay, the particulars of the signators. So who signed the memorandum of association, their particulars, and the number of shares taken up by them. So who signed that memorandum of association, those members, how many shares, number of shares, okay, how many number of shares each of them is taken, that is also clearly it should be defined in the prospectus. Name, address and occupation of the members. Okay, so name, address and occupation of members of board of directors, secretary, auditor, legal advisor, banker. So their name, address and occupation should have to be clearly defined above to the members of board of members, secretary, auditor, legal advisor, banker, etc. So the particulars should have to be clearly described. The minimum subscription amount fixed by the promoters. So minimum subscription. So what will be the minimum value of the share? What will be the minimum value of the debenture? What is their minimum amount? That should be clearly mentioned. So that value is fixed by the promoters. Okay. Yes, the value of that subscription is decided by the promoters. Promoters means who? In the previous sessions we have discussed about the promoters. Promoter means that person who has the idea to start the business, was at the first stage of the business. Okay, so that he will describe the minimum subscription amount. The details of the property acquired, if any additional property they are maintaining, then details of that additional property should have to be mentioned in the prospectus. Okay, because why these all have to be we have to disclose means these all information is going to be seen by the public, and by seeing these they will going to purchase the shares of that company or debentures of that company. So that's why everything should have to be disclosed to the public. The details of the property, okay, the time of opening and closing of subscription list. So from what time the subscription, the securities will be open to purchase, and at what time it will be going to close, that should be clearly defined. Okay. Next, the capital structure of the company and particulars of issue. Capital structure, how much will be the capital, okay, how many crores will be the capital, and in that how much will be the fixed capital. Okay, fixed capital means it is used to purchase plant and machinery, furniture, building, land, okay, equipments, tools. These are for these we required fixed capital. So there is another capital that is working capital. Okay, working capital. What is working capital, madam? Means for day-to-day activities, for giving salaries, for giving wages, for paying electricity bill, for paying any other expenses, for stationery, for postage. Okay, for those things we required working capital. Means day to day, every day we required certain amount to run the business, to run the company. So that capital is known as working capital. Fixed capital means purchase of machinery, purchase of building, purchase of furniture, purchase of equipments, purchase of tools. These all are called as a fixed capital. Okay, that particular should have to be due, okay, of the company, and particulars of issue. How many equity shares you are going to be issue, how many preference shares you are going to be issue, and how many debentures you are going to be issued. That should be completely disclosed here. The amount payable on application, allotment and cause. So what is the amount you are paying on applications? Okay, what you are paying on the applications, whatever the applications you are receiving, for that what you are paying, and for the allotment of the shares what you are paying, and for the calls means for receiving, not phone call, for receiving of shares what amount you are receiving. So that should be clearly, you have to be the company should have to be clearly mentioned. Next, basis for the issue price. So basis on what the price of the shares are issued, or the price of the shares have been fixed, that should also have to be mentioned. The particulars of preferential treatment given to the person for subscribing shares or debentures. So preferential means some different type of treatment, some type of treatment. The treatment means not medical treatment. Treatment means there is certain variations between while we are issuing equity shares and while we are issuing preference shares and while we are issuing debentures, there will be certain variations. Okay. If you are issuing equity shares means there are the real owners, so they will take the dividend after giving to the preference shareholders. So preference shareholders will get the dividend, which is very fixed dividend. Okay, so in this way there will be certain type of preferential treatment is there. Different type of treatment is there for different type of shareholders, that we will going to be studying in the upcoming sessions. Okay, in detail we are going to study what is equity shareholder, what is preference shareholder, what is debenture. We are going to study in detail. Okay, don't worry about that. The address of the underwriters. Underwriters means who means, see, when we are issuing the shares into the market lo shares issue chestam. Chesinappudu, for example, మనము 100 షేర్స్ మార్కెట్లో ఇష్యూ చేస్తున్నాం అనుకోండి. సో ఇన్ దట్ 100 షేర్స్ మనము ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఆ షేర్స్ సేల్ అవుతాయో లేవో మనకు తెలియవు, పర్చేస్ అవుతాయో లేవో తెలియవు. సో we will approach to one broker. That broker is known as underwriter. So what is underwriter will do means, he will take the promise, he will give the promise that he will sell at least 70 or 50, whatever it may be, he wish. అతని ఇష్టం ఎంత అయినా అతను చెప్తాడు. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 70 షేర్స్ నేను అమ్మి పెడతాను మీ తరపున అని చెప్తాడు. అలా చెప్పి బ్రోకర్ ఏం చేస్తాడు, అండర్ రైటర్ అంటే బ్రోకర్, అతను ఏం చేస్తాడు, అమ్మడానికి ప్రయత్నిస్తాడు. ఒకవేళ అతను అమ్మడంలో ఫెయిల్ అయిపోయినాడు అనుకోండి, అలాంటప్పుడు అతనే కొనుక్కోవాలి ఆ 70 షేర్స్. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ ద రిస్క్ హియర్. సో అండర్ రైటర్ అంటే అతను ఒకవేళ అమ్మగలిగితే అమ్ముతాడు, అమ్మలేని పరిస్థితుల్లో అతనే కొనుక్కోవాల్సి వస్తుంది. Particulars about the reserves and surplus. Reserve means the amount. For example, the company got 10,000 rupees profit. In that, after giving after all the expenses, it getting a profit of 2,000 rupees. In that, they have to keep 1,000 rupees as reserves. అంటే ఒక సైడ్కి ఒక మూలకు పెట్టేస్తారు. ఫర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ యూజ్డ్ ఫర్ ద ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద బిజినెస్ ఆర్ ఫర్ ద గ్రోత్ ఆఫ్ ద బిజినెస్. ఓకే, సర్ప్లస్ మీన్స్ excess profit. ఓకే, సో the amount of preliminary expenses. Preliminary expenses means any other expenses. Okay, other expenses is called as preliminary expenses. The name and address of the auditor. Auditor means who will check the accounts. Okay, his name and his address should have to be mentioned. Particulars regarding the voting rights at the meetings of the company. So which shareholder will have the voting right, okay, and about the meetings of the company, that also should have to be mentioned in the prospectus. Next, management perception of risk factor. So whatever the risk is there in the business, that should also be clearly they have to mention. Okay, what is the management expecting the risk from the business and how they are issued that risk by taking the insurance, that have to clearly mention. Disclosure of investors grievancy and redressal system. Grievancy means anything that have been done wrong. Redressal means giving compensation for that wrong. Okay, they have to mention that if anything done wrong with the investor, okay, if anything happened wrong to the investor, means the public who are ready to invest in the shares of the company, if anything wrong happened to them, any fraud happened to them in the company, at the time the company is ready to give compensation for the loss what the investor has suffered. So these information they have to be mentioned in the document. Along with this, they have to fulfill some legal requirements which we are going to discuss in our next session. In the next session we are going to discuss about the legal requirement and also what are the types of the prospectors are there. We are going to discuss in detail about that in the 5th session. Okay, right.